As of tomorrow, we are 2 weeks away from shop opening, which means I do have a lot of things to do this week and next week, but specifically this week is my last chance to get all of the sample products that I need done and finished so that I can do my product photography so that next week I can focus on getting the website set up, getting the Etsy shop running, doing some of those admin things like registering the business with the county and all of that stuff. There are a lot of clerical things that need to happen, but the focus right now is making the actual sample products, which I have the ones that I've done so far behind me, and I do only have one left to go. I have one blanket that I need to make, but I've finished everything else and it's very exciting, so I'm going to show you what I've got. The first thing are some baskets. These I made all in the same color yarn because I wanted them to be paired together. They're gonna be sold individually, but I also wanted them to look like nicely paired together as a set. So it's a little basket. This one is the small basket. I do need to, on this one specifically, undo the like top few rows because I need to redo these handles. I did a slight, I mean, it's a similar look, but these ones go much taller than my other two, which I will show you in a second. So I need to redo the handles because I changed the way that I work those in once I got to the other two. Because this was the first one that I did. I figured starting with the smaller version would be good. But yes, I think they're super cute. Oh, there's a little fuzz on that one. I then made a medium basket, which you might be able to tell, I don't know, but it is slightly, it's a little bit stiffer and a little bit like smaller height than the small basket. And I just like this look a lot better. It feels a lot smoother and a lot more like built in. I feel like with this one, it just feels a little bit more saggy, if that makes sense. They just feel a little bit flimsy to me. And so I wanted to make sure they feel very sturdy because, you know, when you're carrying stuff, you don't want to feel like you're about to rip the handle off. So that's the medium basket. And then the other one that I made was large, very large. So this one's like the type of size that is gonna fit blankets or, you know, a throw pillow or two. It's big. It's a large one. I don't know why this is on my head. A lot of crocheted baskets are made with really chunky yarn, and this yarn is pretty thick, but it also just like gives you this really nice thinner stitching whenever I use a smaller hook with it. And so I don't know, I just like the look of the smaller stitching even though it takes longer to finish like that. I mean, there's a reason why people use the chunky yarn for baskets, because it's easier to work up, it's faster because you're not doing as many stitches. Like obviously with a smaller yarn you've got more rows and more stitches in a row, so that's just what I wanted to do with mine. So those are the baskets. I also have this pillowcase that I made. So this is an 18 by 18 with the insert in. The pillowcases are just going to be sold themselves. It's not going to include the insert, but it's envelope style. So this button, it opens so you can take the insert out and wash the pillowcase if needed. That was sort of my main criteria for pillowcases, is I really hate throw pillows that aren't washable because stuff happens, you know? And I don't want to throw the whole pillow, including the insert, into the washing machine. I just want to be able to take the pillowcase off. So we've got this. I crocheted the edges together in order to give it sort of a ribbed look on the side. And then this is a particular pattern that I'm going to be using for one of the blankets as well. This pillow is my problem child though, because it takes a while to make, to the point where if I'm like multiplying by my hourly rate that I've used for everything else, it sort of drives the price up enough to a point that I become a bit uncomfortable with it for a pillowcase. So that's something that I've been struggling with, is what to do with this guy. I don't want to size down like to a 16 by 16 or 14 by 14 because I feel like 18 by 18 is like the standard throw pillow size. At least that's what I've seen. And I looked at all the ones that I have and that's what they are. without me even like specifically looking for that size whenever I bought them. So we're just sort of debating what to do with this guy. Ultimately, I'm gonna price it in a way that pays me fairly and considers the materials involved. So I found these buttons to add. You know, I have to include the button and the amount of yarn that it takes to make these, because if I don't do that, then that's literally the whole point of a business, is getting paid for your work. We're working on this one. That's the other thing, is the pillowcases. I'm gonna be doing them in that style, but obviously a bunch of different colors. And then the thing that I am very, very excited for is the blankets. So this is the same pattern, if you can tell, as the pillowcase. They're gonna share a name because I'm gonna name the different patterns after important women in my life, because Rosespun is after my middle name, which is Rose. And so I thought that having the different patterns correspond to the middle name of someone I care about would be nice too. So for a sneak peek, this pattern is going to be the Elizabeth, which is my mom's middle name. So this is my sample product for the Elizabeth throw, which I'm very excited about. And then this is my sample blanket for this like ribbed texture blanket, which also is reversible because it has a different pattern on the other side because of the way I had to do the ribbing. So this one's cool because it has like 2-in-1. I love this color too. I really liked working with this yarn. So those are 2 blankets, and then I have one more that I need to finish this week, which blankets take a hot second. So I'm hoping to start that tonight and then be done by Thursday so that I can spend Friday taking photos and getting started like editing those and, you know, just get that whole process started. But ideally, I would like to be done with this 3rd blanket by Thursday, which is definitely doable. The only potential downside is going to be crocheting a lot, like all day Wednesday, basically, which is going to make my hands hurt. But yes, I've done so many things, and I'm very proud of everything that I've done so far. Wow, that's a lot of fabric. All together. Time to go add one more to the mix. I have been stressed. Today is the last day that I have had to get all of the things that I need to get done involving the products themselves. So I finished the last blanket this morning, which it was the main source of the stress. So I'm sort of coming down off of that now that I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. But it took a lot longer than I anticipated because the swatching that I did before didn't quite translate into a blanket as well as I thought it would. A, the pattern itself wasn't exactly what I was wanting, and so I shifted that up a bit, but B, it was really hard to get a starting number of chains because this last blanket that I finished is like a chevron pattern. I'll just show you. It's chevron, and so it's not just like I chain the whole thing, lay it out, measure it, and then I'm good to go. I had to guesstimate on like how long this needed to be, how many spikes I needed. It was just a lot of math and guessing based off of that math, and it took me several tries to get it right because the other thing is when I would chain it all and then maybe do the first row, it was so flexible still, it hadn't quite taken shape yet, So whenever I would lay it out to measure, I couldn't really get an accurate measure of how wide it would be because it was very easy for me to be scrunching it up or stretching it too long. And so every time I tried something new, I had to start it and go up like 4 rows before it really started to hold its shape. And then I could lay it out and measure it. And by the time I did all that, if it was too long or too short, I had to start the whole thing over again. And so it just took a really long time. Pretty much all of Wednesday, I think, was spent just starting this thing over like 5 times, basically. That was all I did on Wednesday. And I thought that I would be getting through the bulk of it on Wednesday. And so it's pushed back like everything that I wanted to do. I just crocheted on this thing like literally all day yesterday, and then I finished it this morning. It also takes an extra skein of yarn compared to the other 2 blankets, so I wanted to price them all the same, but this one I think if I do that is just gonna have to be the one that's the least profitable, if that makes sense. And if that's not sustainable, again, I can always change that later, but for now I'm sticking with my plan to just price them all the same. We've moved the couch because the window's over there. Normally it's up against the window, but I wanted to use the natural light because now it's time to take some product photography. This has been the part that I've been very excited about, so I'm gonna go get my camera and we can get started. We are back from Texas. The website has been made and the countdown has begun. Rosespun is opening on Wednesday, which is very exciting. Today's Monday. Today and tomorrow are the days where I just like get all the little detail things done that I still need to do, but if I were to like sit down and open the shop like right now, I could. So the main stuff is done. Over the past week, while I've been visiting family, I was working on building out the website and I'm very happy with how it turned out. I've had several people take a look at it just to sort of give it a once over and make sure there's not any big mistakes. I have a few like textual things to change, some grammar to check, that sort of thing, but the website itself is finished and I'm very excited to share all of this with you. So I'm just here to document my progress. I'm not here to like do anything else, but if you are interested in launch day, the website is going live February 1st at 10 a.m. Eastern time. And I'm also having a 10% off like launch day / launch celebration sale, I guess, going from that time all the way to February 3rd, which is Friday, at, 11:59, whatever, basically midnight, also Eastern time. I am planning to do a vlog for launch day, sort of just, see how the day goes. I'm not expecting to get like a ton of orders. I know I'm getting one because my mom said she would order something, so we've got that one to look forward to. We'll see what happens. I'm excited. I'm just excited for all of the prep work to be done and for me to just like start going. So now that that prep work is done, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you again soon. Bye!